try a position that might give a little more light. I wanted to share about going to my appointment tomorrow because um, I'm been really stressed about it, and I don't necessarily need to be. um, and I think it will be interesting to see tomorrow what happens. I'm going to the geneticist again. Um, I went once and we had 1 hour long appointment, and she went over my family health history and my symptoms, and I'm looking at some type of hypermobility diagnosis, hypermobility spectrum disorder, or hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And then I have another appointment with her tomorrow that's an hour that she's going to do a physical exam, and then she said she'll give her assessment. And I didn't have a lot of family history when I went last time because I'd asked her office, and I said, do I need to like get anything to bring or ask my family specific questions or anything? And they said no. And then when I got there, half the appointment was asking me about my family history. So I went ahead and got a lot of that in the last month and a half, and then a couple weeks ago I sent it to her and said, so here's some actual family history, because I really didn't have much. I didn't know much, honestly, and so that was very insightful, actually. I have a ton of things in my family. I even only did my dad's side of the family. I didn't even have to go further than that to get a whole lot of, well, it just sounds very much like positive family history for EDS. So who knows, though? We will see. I will see her tomorrow. She is really like, she's I don't know, it's interesting, every doctor's different. She was a bit strange, and she absolutely said nothing that was any kind of confirmation or not of anything when I was there last time. I mean, I don't even know how to say how little she said, but I finally introduced my dad's wife to her because she never even asked my name, and I introduced myself to her because she never said her name. And after we were in the room, when she just was like, and I was like, okay, so anyway, it was very strange. I'm really grateful to be going. I had to find her through a Facebook group. It's been 3 years of me trying to see someone for this, to get checked out for an EDS diagnosis, hypermobility diagnosis, and there's so much more that goes on with it besides just hypermobility of the joints, and there's so many things that have been confusing and not understood about symptoms I have, and things that don't make sense and don't connect, and just things that my doctors have not been able to figure out, that they just eventually say, I have no idea. I have this really bad chronic nausea that I've got going pretty well right now with some cannabis oil. It's okay, but without it, I'm at the point where I actually can't eat, really. I really just throw everything up. And so, it's things like that where it's pretty severe, and yet how does that fit ME/CFS or anything else that I have? And possibly dysautonomia, but that's also the important thing of, a lot of people may know that a lot of people with dysautonomia or POTS also have EDS and mast cell activation syndrome or mast cell activation disorder. Those three are very often together. And I do have my POTS diagnosis, and I do have a lot of symptoms of MCAS, and now they're realizing that a lot more people with ME/CFS actually have EDS. So we shall see tomorrow what she says. I'm actually not as nervous now, I think, because it's tomorrow, it's finally happening. It just that I realized that having so many times that I have gone to doctors, literally I had the thought of I'm just gonna walk out of there with she's gonna be like, there's nothing wrong. I mean, literally that has happened to me so many times, and something's very wrong. And yes, I have other diagnoses that I can explain some of my stuff. But it's been a long time coming for something that would explain more and that also would be helpful to utilize as a way to see how to manage things, because it can be different than managing my joint pain or joint problems if I don't have some type of hypermobility. So already I've been using that knowledge when I'm dealing with doctors and with other in other situations, and already it's been helpful to realize, like, things like with my thumbs, are my CMC joints are hypermobile and my fingers are hypermobile, and I've already been able to go to the OT and just like say, okay, they're this, and you don't really have to necessarily have the diagnosis for that because it's obvious, but just there's people have some understanding. I've had a couple people actually look things up themselves. I've been really grateful for that. Every doctor who I've said anything about it to has known what I was talking about, and that's very unusual, I know, but basically for me with ME/CFS, every doctor doesn't know anything, or they've never even heard of it being called anything but chronic fatigue syndrome, and that they usually don't believe it's real. So anyway, we'll see if this goes any better than that. I just hope that it will kind of bring things together and help me get the help I need, because that's literally what it is. It's like, if I can get my splints paid for because my insurance will cover it because I have my diagnosis, that's what I need. And so I really just hope this goes well. And like I said, I think it's just my fears from the past about what I'm worried about with this appointment, and I can just go in and let it be and it'll be okay. So we'll see. I'm going to do a video after this, and so we'll find out what happened.